gonna take my car with my baby in the back?
Ain't no baby in there.
Right there. Wham.
What? You couldn't even like use the other side of your mouth to pretend like there was a baby in there?
Or make it sound like an actual baby?
Yeah. You deserve to lose your fucking car.
Oh, is it a cartoon baby you got back there?
Yeah, he could have at least tried to go, you know, but he's like, wah, he's saying the words.
Right.
Wah, wah. Now, I had to take somebody to see a movie with me because we had to split up our duties the other night. You had to go see one movie that was playing on the same night as another movie, and I went to go see that one.
In the same theater. At
the same theater. Yeah, Martin and I walking the door, bread and butter. And so we had to split it up. So we got guest reviewers tonight, and I thought, well, since DJ Miles is already part of the establishment right here.
Thank you.
And we'll go ahead and bring you in. Yeah, we got a new Kevin Hart movie out. And I thought, now that'd be the perfect thing to take his ass out for a ride along.
Sure.
Go see a Kevin Hart movie because some of them they're okay, and some of them are hard.
They do come in those two varieties. Some of them.
And you've never been to any of these screenings before.
No.
Interesting reactions that he had throughout this whole thing, and we'll get that in a little bit. But
I had this picture in my head, but I want to see if it plays out that way.
Yeah, we'll let you know. But with this, you got Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart. Now I don't know if whether he graduated from high school in real life or not. I don't know that. I know this might be a biopic.
Sure.
but in this, he plays a guy who has a modest but well-paying job at a barbecue grill place, and you know he's doing all right until he blows the shit up and gets fired naturally.
Yeah.
But the problem is that he was living beyond his means because he got a fine ass wife. And, you know, he wanted to keep her, so he trying to play the man. Even though she's like 4 feet taller than he is, but she's trying. You know, he's trying to pay for everything. Yeah, of course. Half them grills that he's selling out there taller than him. But you know, he loses his job, and he has a friend that says, you know, since this is movie land, I can get you a job as. I can get you a job working at a financial office. Sure. You just got to get your GED. Because, you know, that's what friends are for.
They're giving those jobs away.
Exactly. Financial analysis. Yeah, I can get it. I can put a good word in for you, just like that. Just go back to school. So he has to go back to night school to get that job. But he's kind of a hustler, man. But Tiffany Haddish plays the teacher who she's tough and she sees through his bullshit and she's not having it at all. And of course, with them riffing on each other back and forth, having a little tension going on there, comedy ensues. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, it does it. Let's go ahead.
Beat me to it.
Felt you, Mark. We are psychically linked, by the way. I'm going to get this motherfucker. But let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Night School, and we'll be back with our review.
What you doing?
What's it look like I'm doing?
You gonna take my car with my baby in the back?
Ain't no baby in there.
Right there. Wham. Teddy.
You gotta be kidding me. No, come on.
No, Martin.
Dude, come on.
No, Martin. And you know how they have trailers where sometimes those things are not in the movie?
Yeah.
That was in the movie.
What's going on, Carrie? Why we in the ring?
What's the square root of 81?
What?
What's the square root of 81?
I don't know. What you doing, bro?
Now, whether you feel like Martin, where Martin is just sitting up there with his eyes bucked and his mouth open like that.
Like, I wasn't expecting good things, but I didn't see this extended trailer with some of the worst comedy I've seen in a long time. Well, I mean, maybe it's just a trailer, but God damn it.
Well, Martin, can I tell you something about the trailer? I mean, there are some people who might see this and get a chuckle because what they did with the trailer, if you take this trailer with another trailer that's out there, they showed you the movie. And they showed you a really nice short version of the movie. Like you probably can get some chuckles from there. Like they tell a joke and it's done in a second, man.
Sure.
You know, and you get the story, you pretty much get the plot. What is a plot?
Come
there.
on, let's not use that word. Let's not disrespect the concept of plot.
What you got there was lean. They trimmed the fat. They got to the point. Now, if you go and see the movie, you know how they talk about they take ground beef and they just put like wood grains in there.
Plastic,
sawdust, stuff to just fill it out.
Yeah.
Things that have no nutritional value, things that don't really make you full. You know, but that's what this is. If you watch the movie, this is padded as fuck.
Oh, don't tell me that. On
Martin,
top of everything else.
even with a good chuckle of a joke in there, something that resembles, and you got a good chuckle out of it. You tell them, all right, here, you can stop. You can drop me off right here. They're like, no, we're going to ride this shit out. We're going to ride this joke out.
You got in the car.
Yeah. we taking the scenic route.
I just need you to take me right there.
Nah, we going to the bus depot. You going to walk back. I don't know how you feel about it, Miles. I know this is your first time here, but the problem with this is that it does not feel like a movie.
Yeah.
Because it never feels like they have a script. Now they have Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish, two of the biggest names in comedy right now, and they don't have a script. They have some shit that they wrote down on paper to like give them an excuse to do something for 2 hours. But there is no story there, and I can see with the studio. I mean, this is just in your face laziness. That's the studio really in your face talking about, yeah, I don't do shit. Why should I do the work when I got two big names in this movie right here to do the work for us?
Well, Tiffany Haddish is the it girl right now.
Yeah.
Which I think she's really only got one note, and I feel like I'm being generous even saying that. But they're just, how many things can we get her in before everybody gets tired of her?
And you know what? With this, I'll get on to her in a little bit, but I mean, she's a huge name right now. Like you said, she's the it girl of comedy. Mm-hmm. And Kevin Hart's always drawing in names, whether movies are good or not. So the studios just finally said, well, fuck. You know, if you notice, with a lot of Kevin Hart movies where it's just his movies, they write less.
They do.
And less.
They do. Because the idea is, why are we going to spend money on a writer when we can just have him get up there and just do whatever he wants to do?
And do some ad-libbing.
Yeah.
And do a lot of ad-libbing.
A lot of ad-libbing.
Yeah.
It's almost like I can't blame them in a way, because it's kind of like, well, shit, the more dumb we make these things, the more y'all just keep coming to see it.
If you can get an A without studying, are you going to stay up all night to get an A+?
Oh, Martin, this isn't even somebody trying to get a D. This is the teacher. This is the teacher in a student's face saying, you lazy and you stupid. And they saying, I got money. My daddy rich.
I see that. Because even the premise of this, I hate to break to people, but getting a GED is not hard.
No, but apparently it is
but the fact that you got these grown-ass people who are like, well, we can't pass it, and we're not going to study, so let's go through some elaborate plot to steal the answers.
These are people, getting your GED is really not that hard. It don't require you to break bones and throw up on people and blow yourself up. You know, it's just like these people would, like in real life, these people would not be getting a GED. These people wouldn't even be in special needs. They'd be in a fucking mental institution. Yeah. And I know it's a movie, so I'm not saying anything about that. I know it's a movie world.
But you got to have some semblance of reality.
It's almost like they just wrote an outline of a story and just gave it to Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish and said, y'all do something with this shit. We're done.
Yeah.
This is one sheet of paper, right?
Comedic actors who come in and ad-lib as well.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say there were 6 different writers who wrote the script for this, and it very much feels like 6 different writers because there's certain things that they don't really mesh well. Like they sort of do in the overall scheme of it, but there's no endpoint with any of them.
They gave chunks out. Like they assigned certain parts of the story to 6 different people, Kevin Hart being one of them, and they did not tell them how it would connect to the other person.
It's a mad lib.
And here's the thing, the supporting cast in this movie, like, I don't hate any of them. And they actually give some character, like, development for each of them. Like, you find out their backstories and all that stuff. But then the stuff they introduce with them, there's no resolution with any of it. It's just something that I guess we're supposed to forget because at the end of the day, Kevin Hart, well, happily ever after for him. So who cares about everyone else?
And I know, and I don't want to be that guy that's sitting up here like people always want to say, because it never fails. There's always going to be somebody saying, oh, you're just being such the critic. You can't enjoy something just for laughs, just for comedy. You got always like highbrow humor. It's your job to tear down something, and that's not it.
How you are, man. Too rich and too intellectual.
I'm too black, too bougie. I put them BBs on you, man. But that's just how it is here, because there's one thing to have a vehicle for an actor or a comedian or a star and not have much going on with it. It's they for something very lowbrow. They had the term high concept.
Yeah.
You know, they have just the bare minimum of a premise, or they have actors who can carry just a simple premise on. And I know they do that all the time. And we've seen that and sometimes enjoy it. So it's not that I'm holding that up against this movie right here. What's going on with this is that this is a film that feels so lazy that they don't even give their leads enough to do. So it's almost like their leads are just kind of left to meander, and they're left to ad-lib. And they don't know when, and it's one thing not to know when to just yell cut. Go ahead and get all the material you need. But it's just like the movie's almost 2 hours. This should be an hour and a half. And they got plenty of times that they can cut. But they have it in their minds that since we're letting Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish sell this shit, we got to let them keep ad-libbing, let them keep talking.
I was wondering why we didn't start yesterday's show till 9:30. Now I get it.
Yeah, man. I wasn't. It started at 7:30 and wasn't almost done till 9:30.
Damn.
And this should have been an hour and a half.
A lot of it, you realize when you watch it, you're like, okay, they're ad-libbing. This is just something that, hey, they tell Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart to play with, which is awesome. But some of it just continues too long, and you're like, this was done 30 seconds ago, but it's still going to continue for 2 minutes because it's Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish.
Exactly. Like I told you, man, we stuck in that car. You ain't going to drop me off? No. You going where I'm going.
Actually, the way
you feel like you get comedy kidnapped in this. What's that?
No. I was going to say, the way we even see both of those characters introduced, that's how it is. You get the 2-minute ad-lib with them, and you're like, whew.
Yeah. Anytime now. You can tell how much they don't care from the start of the movie, because it starts out with them in high school, and they don't try to change a goddamn thing about Kevin Hart. Now, look, I know Kevin Hart.
Wait, that's supposed to be him in high school?
No, that's not him in high school, but it might as well be. Look, I know Kevin Hart is short, but goddamn, man, he's still 35 years old.
Yeah.
And what they don't care. To him, to make him look like a high school student, they put him in some baggy pants, and they put a cornrow wig on him. And I wish I had a picture. You can't. I'm trying to find it you ain't gonna find when I see the movie because they know it look like shit. It's obvious that it's a hat. It's a cap. It's cornrows, and you don't see no skin in there. You don't see
Probably
where the hair is coming out.
City.
Yeah, they didn't want to spend nothing on a latex overlay on his head. No, they just put down. It might as well be one of them goddamn wigs they wear in British courts and stuff. This shit is bad. Am I lying? No, they didn't try to do anything to his face at all.
Wow.
I was like, I know y'all just didn't put a wig on this bitch and say he's 18. And the funny thing is, the other actors that he starts out in school with, now you can tell they're still a little bit too old. Actually, one of them is a little bit too old, but it was impressive how they made them look, because I didn't know it. One, Taron Killam, and Ben Schwartz. They for the time that they make, because they look grown, but they showed them in high school, and it's like I don't know Ben Schwartz. I actually thought I didn't think he was 18, but I thought he was like early 20s or something, like 19, 20. They look good. Not Kevin Hart. They could give a fuck less. I guess Kevin Hart said, I ain't sitting no makeup chair.
Do I get makeup? Oh, black doesn't crack. You'll be fine.
I'm not doing no makeup.
They did something to him when he was in that movie with The Rock, Central Intelligence.
Right.
Like I think they just put like some cake batter on his forehead or something, and he looked okay. It's not hard to make him look like he's in high school because of his size, and he still looks good for his age. He's a very youthful looking guy.
Yeah.
Like, no, we ain't even paying no money for no cake batter. No brown powder, nothing. We got this wig right here. I don't even think they bought that shit. I think they borrowed that from somebody on the set. Because of a weak script, they go some crazy places for a laugh. And some of them you see coming. But you never thought they would end up in the spot they're going to be in. And this is kind of a spoilery thing right here, but I've seen a lot of people talking about it. So and it's not going to matter. Because once you're about 2 minutes into the movie, you realize, oh shit, he's dyslexic.
Yeah, I got that from the trailer.
Yeah, because in the trailer you see doing like that beautiful mind thing.
Oh, they wait till then? Because even early, honestly, just watch the trailer and him saying like, yeah, I can't learn this. I was like, yeah, he's dyslexic.
He's dyslexic, and they really drive it in. I mean, you can tell because I mean, it's a whole different form of dyslexia, man. Like when he looks at at papers or screen, like like letters and numbers, they just fly off and buzz around his head like insects. And he even gets to the point he's just trying to fight them off. And I'm like, that's not
All right, that's extra.
that's not dyslexia. That's a mental problem.
Yeah.
You know, you're fucking crazy at this point. Like you're having hallucinations. And shit. No, but you know what? Again, that's a movie. Okay, you know, you want to take it there. I get it. You need cool visuals for that. That's fine. You can pay for those, but you can't get them a goddamn proper wig. But okay. But
he's not lying when he says the jokes come 1,000 miles away where you can predict them. And I'm here thinking, God, this is going to be my first review, and I don't want to sound pretentious. But then when I'm seeing it, I'm like, how do people not know where it goes? And then where it goes, beat per beat, when you're trying to feel emotional or trying to feel sad or funny. I mean, they cue up the music too, just to reinforce, if you're that dumb, Martin, as an audience viewer, this is the part where you need to feel sad.
Yeah.
This is the part where you're supposed to laugh.
While you can predict some things, some of these things end up in places like, how the fuck do we get here? This is weird. This makes no sense. You saw it in the trailer. So he has dyslexia. And see, and that's what I mean. They just go to bizarre areas for a laugh.
Sure.
You don't have to go there, and it makes no sense. So he has dyslexia, and Tiffany Haddish, her character says, all right, now that we know what the problem is, I can help you. And he says, how? And she says, by bringing you into a hexagon and beating the fuck out of you.
What is the capital of Belgium?
I didn't eat breakfast. I don't know.
That is not the answer.
Now, I'm not a therapist, but I don't think that cures dyslexia right there. Physically abusing somebody, I don't think that's how
they used to cure it in the 60s. Even they knew better.
Yeah, teaching him how to focus is physically abusing him.
Right.
So there, every time he sees something and gets confused, he's gonna think about that ass whooping he's gonna get. I'm like, this is weird, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even people who are laughing at this, they're like, wait a minute, that makes no sense.
Why was gonna abuse him?
Yeah. The thing is, they have two people that they have trying to carry the movie and let them just kind of go on and on. Funny thing is, when you add other characters, the movie starts to meander even more.
Oh, sure.
It even comes to a standstill. And not that I don't like some of these people that they have as the students. There's Romany Malco,
right,
is in the movie, and he's actually pretty funny. He's the kind of guy. He's a woke conspiracy brother.
Yeah, I could tell that.
Yeah, and he comes in with some funny lines every now and then.
That's what's up.
But after you've heard
That's what's up.
about 5 times, it's like, we got it, brother.
Oh, in the same scene, by the way.
Yeah, in the same scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And you get these, and you get these folks together, and like I said, they're fun. You know, you got a juvenile delinquent played by Ann Winters. You have
Robbo.
Mary Lynn Washington. She plays a wife who is being abused by her husband, even if it's mentally abused, and they make kind of light out of it.
Damn.
She sits and she says, my husband just yells at me, my kid's out of control, but I'm blessed. And the more they do that joke, it's like, wait a minute, you were living in an abusive relationship. Oh, but this is comedy here. Whoa, but we playing it up for laughs. Martin, ain't nothing funny than domestic abuse.
This movie's gonna get shut down.
Well, Martin, maybe I'm nitpicking. Maybe I'm abusing the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, but they solved the Me Too of it all by her coming to terms with it, but then her acting very dominant and be like, well, if this was me now, or if this was the me you know, this is the new me now, and I'm crazy, right?
Yeah. They got a Mexican dude played by Al Madrigal, where he's just there to like say every stereotypical Mexican joke that you can make up.
Sure. It took me a while to figure out who he was.
Talk with the fake accent, and I can't pronounce certain things. Like, I want to be a dental hygienist. And it's like, I mean, this is nothing to make fun of. You know?
Yeah, but I've heard Carlos say stuff.
Yeah, you know, I can say these things to Carlos because I know him. But they don't know this man that well. They're not friends with him like I'm friends with Carlos.
But some are so bad where it's like, even as the stereotype, it's not hilarious, right? So he's a Hispanic who wants to be who? Like Julio Iglesias. But you know what? Actually, that's not the joke. I want to be like Justin Bieber.
Oh, no. He wants to be like Justin Bieber. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not being sensitive. It's just kind of like, I'm all against for race humor. I'm all against making fun of stereotypes. But as they do with everything else in this movie, there's no cleverness behind it. It's just there because it sounds funny or it looks funny. You know, when there's nothing else there but just to make fun of the obvious, then that's where I'm not even gonna say it's offensive. It's offensive. I won't even say I'm offended by being a race joke. I'm offended by just not being a good piece of comedy.
Sure,
It's
they
really
put no
bad.
work into it.
And and Rob Riggle plays the dumb guy, and you get all these people together, and they have to give them a reason to hang out together. Mm-hmm. They have to give them a reason to have hijinks together, and that's why in the middle of the movie you get the heist. You're like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah, no. Even when it popped up in the trailer, I was like, oh, wait, why? You going here?
Yeah, and they do it just as I said. And it's not even it stops the movie, first of all. It comes out of nowhere. It stops the momentum of the film. And it's not even a real heist. The whole thing that they do in the movie with this heist that's going on.
Why didn't you wear black?
Laundry day.
So you wore yellow? It's fresh. It's clean. Get your arm out my face.
It's just to make show you how dumb Rob Riggle is. And there's two jokes going on with this heist. Rob Riggle being stupid, being big and dumb, and the housewife I was telling you about.
Yeah.
For some reason, they find this butt joke, and they don't stop. They keep going. They keep saying ass and butt the whole time.
My day was innocent. Now it's all about the butt. I heard a guy say, I'm gonna crack that butt like a walnut.
That goes on and on. It her talking about taking it in the ass. And you get to a point you just want to yell at somebody. Will somebody fuck her in the ass so we can just move on with this movie? Because I'm tired. And it's like I said, it's not even that they say just ass and butt. It's like they relish the word, like it's a joke itself. Like you wonder, did they screen this to 10-year-olds before they showed it to anybody else? They gave them some feedback. What they like? Well, they really liked the part. They said ass and butt. I mean, it's juvenile. I don't mind juvenile humor, but it's juvenile and really, in like I said, the most basic and unclever way.
Well, there's that idea that if you say something, tell a bad joke or say something stupid, but if you repeat it enough, that it'll become funny again because it's ironic. But that most of the time that doesn't work.
No, everything, yeah, because
like David Letterman knew how to do that, and so he gave everybody like, well, maybe we can save things this way. And most of the time, it just crashes and burns.
No, because there's no context to a lot of these things.
Right.
Everything is done for the obvious. Or it's done because it was funny to somebody on the set, but we ain't in on it. Like,
you remember that movie Wanderlust with Paul Rudd, where he's just in the mirror for 10 minutes going, you want to see my dick? My dick.
Yeah.
Just over and over. It's like, dude, stop.
Yeah. And that's what you got here. You got things that, for some reason, it was funny to somebody, and he decided to put in a movie, but there's no context for it. The principal, who was played by, Taron Killam or whatever.
Taron Killam.
Yeah. He talks black, and it's just done for no other reason other than, hey, it's a white guy who's ironically talking black.
I'm gonna do my thing.
And it's like, okay, is it because he's in a predominantly black school, or is it because he wanted to be one of the black kids when he was growing up, like he wanted to be Kevin Hart's friend and Kevin Hart turned him down? No, it was almost like, again, somebody on the set just thought he was being funny. Somebody like, hey, man, dude, hey, Darren, he does a black voice really cool. Do it again, man.
I'm gonna do my thing.
Oh, shit, we gonna put that in the movie, man. That's hilarious. And it's like,
But you know what was baffling is that, like you said, the movie theater was erupting. And I'm like, I understand what the context of this joke is, but I'm not laughing. This is like juvenile humor at its finest.
Yeah.
You know, this is, if I'm 8 years old, I'm going to laugh. By the time I'm 10, maybe I'll get a chuckle. But when I'm 14, this is not funny.
Oh, brother, you might not be built for this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Clearly not. Clearly
It
not.
happens all the time.
No, it happens all the time, man. Again, nothing. We just need more comedic actors in here. Why is the school jock what they say that's what he is? Why is he friends with one of the nerds? Why is he friends with Ben Schwartz? It never makes sense. They don't explain it. It's just, hey, you know, these two guys are funny, and that guy has a good agent, and we needed a role to fill. You know, I mean, it makes no sense. There's no context to it, and looking at all this, it all comes down to, and the reason I'm gonna be really hard on this, it all comes down to something that I really hate lately, and even in Kevin Hart movies, it comes down to wrapping everything up nice and neat. Even when they had the chance to do something a little different, they put it into a montage, like you said. They wrap things up nice and neat, and it ended with everybody. They found somewhere somebody could dance.
Oh,
well, the whole cast could dance. So before the credits roll, everybody could leave tapping their feet and happy. These goddamn human beings, they dancing more than animated characters at the end of the movies now, and most of them in Kevin Hart films, and that's where the domestic abuse thing even came up being weird, because it's like they solved things so neatly. Like they spent so much time ad-libbing before that they couldn't flesh out everything, so we just got to wrap this shit up quick. Domestic abuse is wrapped up with a 10-second speech. That's it.
yeah. Just like in real life.
Don't yell at me no more. Okay. I'll beat your ass.
I know you showed out in front of your friends.
Man, to be fair, I got some chuckles. Fat Joe plays a prisoner who's getting his GED in prison. Why are they letting a convict take a Skype class in prison? I don't know. But I mean, again, movie world. But there were some funny things. You saw it in the trailer, like that's a clever moment where when he's doing Skype, he's actually trying to get shanked by some people. That's actually funny, man. That's a bright moment in the movie. There's a Tiffany Haddish in the movie, man. She is actually pretty funny, and I gotta give it up for Tiffany Haddish, man, because with her, this is and I think some people might complain about this, but with Tiffany Haddish, this movie, of all movies, this was the one that showed that she does have just a little bit more range. And I think some people might they might actually even get mad about that, like she's playing too much of the straight woman. But that's a good thing, because with her playing the straight woman, she knows when to pull back. She knows when to actually lay it on, and even lay it on heavy at times. There's a moment in here where, because it fits her character, it's not random. The moment where she's whooping Kevin Hart with a belt, I'm like, man, that shit is funny. First of all, you want to whoop Kevin Hart's ass, so you're doing what you want to do. But it's like, man, you know what? Being the straight person here, she was the one with the most emotional depth. She had to care about students. She went through anger and frustration with her students. There are moments where, when she does have to riff with Kevin Hart, her comedy means something. Unlike Kevin Hart, if you let Kevin Hart is an amazing comedian. Don't get me wrong. I know some people are going to come in and disagree, but I think Kevin Hart is an amazing comedian, and there's a reason why he is where he is. But, what he does on stage, he plans, he writes, he rehearses. If he's with a good director, they're going to say, okay, either cut or we're going to use this cut right up here until it doesn't work. When you let Kevin go on and on, it's not, I'm going to try to think of something clever to say. My whole thing, I'm going to get louder and keep saying something until somebody laugh. And that's his comedy if you let him keep going. Or you get the one you shake your head in, man. Sometimes you get the what? Really? This is what you call a non-joke.
You gonna take my car with my baby in the back?
Ain't no baby in there.
Right there. When?
Why you couldn't even like use the other side of your mouth to pretend like there was a baby in there?
Or make it sound like an actual baby.
Yeah. You deserve to lose your fucking car.
Oh, is it a cartoon baby you got back there?
Yeah, he could have at least tried to go, but he's like, wah, he's saying the words.
Right.
Wah, wah. You deserve a comedy ass whooping for that.
And although the chemistry between Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish is well, and the ad-libbing goes too much, I think there is a nice contrast to her character, because I think even her as an actress knows, let me just stop it right here.
I would actually say that they work well together, too.
They do.
When they're going off of each other, they actually do well. I think because, of course, the attention is focused on those two. Mm-hmm. And they just, they're both good at what they do. And they the chemistry that they have right there, they just balance each other out. When Kevin Hart is not with her, that's when he starts getting loud.
Like, does she slap him every time he gets loud around her?
No, it's almost like it's almost like when he starts getting loud, she really is whooping his ass. No, I told you to cut that shit out. You could tell that this was made quick. It has a lot of static shots. And that's the problem with the students. Their comedy, they're like the one that he's taking night class with. Their comedy is to put a camera on somebody, let them ad-lib for a long time with things that people think are funny, and then give it to an editor who tries to make them look as unfunny as possible. because it's just reaction shots. It's either they're making some sort of like a quick joke, or it's just one of those reactions that come back and people are like, it's.
And even then, when they make Kevin Hart, you're short, they still got panning out for like,
yeah,
let's laugh.
yeah, man. All those befuddled looks and
Or here's another spoiler of a joke. When they have that Scooby-Doo moment when they're, in
doing the heist.
doing the heist. There's one guy eating potato chips in front of Kevin Hart, and what does he end up telling him? Dude, your breath is too hot.
Yeah, okay.
Let's laugh, everyone.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a joke?
Yeah, that's a joke. I think that's one of the few things he did right there.
Oh.
And
he's eating hot Cheetos.
Yeah,
At this point, he says, your breath is too hot. Laugh.
Yeah, and to cap it all off, it's so quickly produced. The music sounds like some free shit I get off of YouTube. The music sounds like music from the 80s that they used to put you on hold on the phone.
Yeah,
when you the bland disco music. We played it when he was getting his ass beat in that clip in the Hexagon or whatever.
How do they eat breakfast? I don't know. That is not
like
montage. This is a montage.
I felt so bad for him. I'm gonna close it. This is I'm close to giving it a very low rental for some of the things that I did laugh, because it always comes down to, is it really the bottom of the barrel thing that I've seen? And it's not. I've seen much worse.
It's not, because it doesn't. It sounds like it is.
It's not. I mean, it's almost there. Yeah, I'm just weighing it out. I've seen some things that have really looked through the whole movie, not giving me anything, and they tried to give me something here. Maybe that's why I come in. I give it some good old bullshit.
Oh, okay.
And I just felt bad for this man over here.
Because I cracked towards the end and just couldn't stop.
He was sitting up there the whole time, just still and swallowing and sweating a little bit, and I was just like, what? That's why I was like, what the hell is wrong with him? And finally, when the movie was almost done, he just that's when I knew you cracked. You lost. You were driven
on
insane.
his first run.
At the end, he cracked. Because there was no joke going on. There was not even any dialogue, but he was like. And I said, he's losing his mind right now. I was like, this movie's gonna turn his ass to the Joker.
He's like, wow, he's really enjoying himself. Cut the scene. He's being taken out in a stretcher, but still laughing.
I'll get you all.
And I'm just laughing because I'm like, wow. This is some of the lowest common denominator of humor I've seen in probably some of the longest time. The movie never pisses me off. I get some chuckle out of it, right? I'm bored with it, but it doesn't do anything to like say, this is horrible, this is bullshit. And that said, that's why I'm giving it just a low rental.
Yeah, I can see that. No, I can definitely see that.
All right, so you liked it and you didn't.
I like. No, what do you do? No. That don't make no sense. Did you write this movie? Sounds about as crazy as the shit that we just saw.